Why is it so dark?
Because it's dark in here. Oh, right.
Our screen's dark. Even where it's at.
Okay, I don't know. Hi, everybody. Sorry we're late. There we go. Boy, I don't know. I don't know if I've got some setting going. I'm checking things out to see why my screen looks so dark. But everything is normal, it says. So I don't know. All right, who we got in here? Miss Patty. Patty's driving and Mac is sleeping. Awesome. Gathered Together Homestead. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Got 3 folks in here. Sorry we're late. We were watching YouTube videos and we missed it. Missed our time. So, yeah, I don't know why the screen is so dark. Hello, Mr. Charles. All right. So what's everybody up to? Hello, Mike and Terry. Yes, it was wonderful to see you all yesterday. We saw so many folks. We were so excited to see everybody. And I'll tell you the truth. That's why we went, was to see all our friends.
Can we move it a little?
Where are you wanting to move to?
Just a little closer so that I can see it.
Hi, Dana or DJ. It was good to see you yesterday. So we got to see DJ yesterday, and Mac and Patty. Oh, I will not be able to list everybody. We saw so many friends and family.
So, guys, if you're in here and you saw us this weekend,
yes,
just type "saw ya" in the comments.
Yeah, saw ya. So yeah, lots of folks. It was kind of fun. It was very fun. Hi, Mountain Maple Ranch.
Hey.
I have misplaced my book that has everybody's names in it. And Mr. Tim. There's Tiny Tim Posey.
All right. Cool. They're Together Homesteader. I can't read the comment, but I can read who it was.
Had to rearrange the grow room this afternoon. Had about 400 plants popping up. Whoop, whoop. I like that. I got about that many, or maybe 500 on the table.
Somebody put "saw ya."
Saw ya.
Yeah, MT, it was good to see you.
It was great to see you guys. Again.
Yes.
So we'll be honest, we tried to sit in on some of the speakers and stuff, but we didn't last long. So we went and hung out with lots of folks, got to meet some folks that we hadn't met in person before. We just met them through YouTube, so it was nice to see them in person. Put 85 onion bulbs in the ground today. Also getting really excited. That's awesome. We put over 500 onion plants in the ground today.
Yes.
So we left prior this morning at 9 a.m. So we were home at noon, and right after noon. And so we got something to eat, changed our clothes, and got out in the garden because we're supposed to get some more rain. So
Gathered Together. That's who put the.
Yeah.
What variety of onions did you plant?
Yeah, we planted a lot. So tell us what. Yeah. Oh, your friend. Oh, awesome. Those will make you some fabulous green onions. They sure will. The bulbs. That's what the bulbs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bulbs' purpose is for green onions. Just so you know.
They will make a bulb. Mm-hmm, I mean, you gotta stay on top of them, but they will make a bulb.
Yep.
The bulbs don't store very well when they make a
because bulb. they'll have the hollow center to make their seed head out of.
And they tend to go to seed sooner because
it's their second year.
And annuals or
biennials.
Onions are biennial.
Yep. You did the red onions. Cool. We planted 2 varieties of red onions today.
Yeah, we planted Southern Belle Reds.
Southern Belle Reds and
Candy Apple.
Candy Apple Reds. And we planted yellow onions, Walla Walla, the 1015.
Yeah, Texas sweet.
Sweet 1015s, and there was one more.
Candy.
Candy, yes, candy.
Oh, it got brighter just then.
Oh,
now it went dark again.
It's part of its little lightning brightening automatic thing. It must think it's really light in here. Hello, everyone. Wish I lived a little that way. Sounds like a great community. It was so much fun. The red onions. Hello, Beth. Yeah, it is windy here. Is it windy up there, Beth? That would be awesome, Tim. We would love that. He'd like to ride up and have lunch with us someday.
Okay, yeah.
That would be awesome. We would love that.
I remember where he's at. I don't remember those things.
He's in Arkansas.
Arkansas, okay. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
No, the bulbs will not, and some of them might get, not quite a little bit bigger than a golf ball. We've had some get a little bit bigger than a golf ball, not quite a baseball size, and they're still usable. But if you're wanting bulb onions, you want onion plants, the ones that look like little green onions, and they're in a bunch. And Dixondale, find you a place that sells Dixondale plants, because they will purposefully send your dealer what is best for your area, the onions that are best for your area.
So there's a difference in onions. There's a midday onion, a long day onion, and a short day onion. And it's really opposite of what you would think. The further south you get, the more of a short day onion you want. It's not how many days, but how long of a stretch of daylight it needs. And so, and there's different varieties in with all those three groupings. And each area is going to grow a different onion better. And Dixondale is pretty on top of what onions grow where, and they send the ones that will grow to their dealers. So if somebody's selling Dixondale, that's the way to go. You can order directly from Dixondale.
Yes, you can. It is way more expensive.
And it will take a while to get them, a little while to get them, but you can order directly from them if nobody around you is selling Dixondale.
Right.
Or you can get a hold of Dixondale's information, just see what varieties grow, and then see who's selling that.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's not a Dixondale, what varieties grow in your area.
Yes. It's an awesome community. It sure is. I'm struggling. My phone is on that mode. We've been outside, so it's on the dark mode and it isn't adjusting. Well, I've got an older phone. It's about almost 3 years old, so it's.
And I don't know if there's something we can do to change that.
I don't.
Or not.
There is. You go in and set the brightness, or try to. I can try to do that see if it'll let me do it. There we go.
There we go.
Aha! There we go. Okay.
All right.
It wasn't as difficult as I thought. There we go. There's Beth saying hi to Beth. Very windy. Yeah, as you can hear from the flopping tin, it's very windy here. Had 3 inches of snow. Won't be even thinking about it till May or June. We have greenhouse and we'll be working on getting that up this spring. Awesome. That'll be cool.
We got snow Friday.
We got snow Friday. We ran ahead. It was coming down pretty good when we left out of here, but we had a warm day, so the ground was warm. And so we ran ahead of it and didn't really have any problems. Yes, long day.
Long day, yeah.
Yeah, here in Kansas, we're a mid to short is what worked best here. Love gardening. We do too. Yeah. Oh, cool. Gathered Together's getting their greenhouse in a couple weeks. How exciting. Cool. That's awesome. Cool. So we had a blast. Pretty good luck with bulbs here too. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, we've grown bulbs and we get decent onions out of them, but they're not going to make as big an onion and they're not going to store as well as if you start with
because their goal, because they've already made a bulb already. So their goal is to go to seed, because if you get the little plants, those are the ones that the seeds have been planted the year before, or the fall before, the fall before the October. That's why that one Texas sweet is 10/15. That's the best date to plant them at, that variety of seed. So those plants are now ready to go into the ground. And so they will bulb up. And then after the next frost, then that'll signal the plant, okay, you've produced your fruit. Now it's time to go to seed. So that's the difference in onions, if it helps anybody at all. It took us several years.
Joe, good to see you here. Yeah, Grandpa would, he would kind of tell us sometimes we need to plant the plants, but then he would plant bulbs and we would too sometimes, and still get a decent onion out of them. But when he grew the big onions, it was always the plants. And so I mean, you can make the other way work, but it works best if you do the plant.
The other thing is onions are heavy nitrogen feeders. So you need to side dress them with, so side dressing is like going beside them and digging a ditch beside them, and either putting just a light sprinkling of fresh, of, I hate to say raw, but of not quite decomposed manure, or you can top them with decomposed manure, like composted manure.
And you can use some organic fertilizers too, but they need, it's a pretty heavy nitrogen need.
So
for them. And they also need sulfur.
Yes, they do.
They need sulfur and potassium.
I purposely bought, most of ours are low sulfur content.
But the plant still needs.
They do, yes,
And so you guys might have saw we put some ashes. That helps.
Hi, Joe. Okay, Joe saying hi to Tim.
Yeah.
The
greenhouse will do that.
Yes, the greenhouse will definitely make it easier. So yeah, I've got to start getting my plants hardened off. I still have I'm to the point now, and I'm so far behind that I'm moving stuff that we've seeded and it hasn't sprouted out to the greenhouse. And these are stuff we went ahead and seeded when we had time, but we didn't apply water to the, we didn't water them in. So they're just sitting in dry soil. So the seed hasn't started the process of germination. So we're going to take them out to the greenhouse, water them, and then that'll start their process of germination. So they'll just stay dormant until we water them. So that helped us get ahead a little bit. So tomorrow I've got an appointment in the morning. When I get back from my appointment, I'll probably continue with that. Our son brought us a whole bunch of flats that have 18 packs. And so we have been just filling them with our soil and then planting our seeds in them so that we can, there won't be as much up potting to them. They'll be able to go straight into, and we have so many of them that when we take them to farmer's market, we can just cut them up. You know, just take a good pair of those in, oh, I can't think of the name of those.
Scissors?
Yeah, but I can't think of the name of those scissors I want to. The industrial strength scissors. I don't know what. Utility scissors. That's what I wanted. The utility scissors, and just cut those packs up. That's Gary's genius right there. And because Luke brought us close to 200 of those 18-pack cells. And so that'll make it nice to cut them up and sell our plants out of. And they do fit in the flats. I can't remember what those flats are called. They've got a number, but they fit in the flats really well. Hi, Cindy Brown.
Hello. Hello.
How are those watch hours doing? We're going to have to wait till tomorrow to update, but we were at 100, and I can't check right now, but it was our watch hours. Do you remember what our last update on watch hours was?
It was just like 160 or something that we needed last, right?
Yeah, 160. I can't remember if it was 64, 68, 65, somewhere there, mid 160s. But YouTube does a lag over the weekend for us. I don't know if this does it for everybody, but like starting Friday afternoon, or starting, I guess Friday afternoon, starting Saturday and Sunday, we do not get our hours updated. It will update our subscriber count, but our view count, but it will not update our watch hour count until Monday morning, usually after 6 o'clock our time. Sometimes it's closer to 8. But we should be close. We should have, under my guess by the folks that are telling me they're watching videos, if we don't make it, we'll make it within the next few days with the amount of y'all that are dedicated to watching those videos for us.
Yeah, and so we're going to have to start getting together and figuring out all the gifts we're going to give away at our giveaway, which we're going to do that whether we hit our hours in or not. I mean, we're going to, as for our anniversary, our 3-year YouTube anniversary, we're going to give away some gifts.
Cool. Mountain Maple says, this is our first winter here, and we're still figuring out where to plan and what will work. Yes, you're still in the planning stages. That's awesome. What to plant, what will work, what won't work in your area. Find you a mentor if you don't have one already. Someone that is an avid gardener, and you'll be able to reap benefits from their experience.
If you don't, Mountain Maple Ranch, if you don't find somebody like that, reach out to your county extension.
Yes.
Your county extension agent your county extension probably has all kinds of information on what will grow and when to plant it. And Clyde's Garden Planter is really popular, but your county extension will have something similar, or at least some dates. It may not be a cool little slidey thing, but it'll have some dates that will be area specific for you. And there will be, and a lot of times if there is a gardening organization in the area, they'll give you information on that too, which there may or may not be in your area. But
well, I guess I will have to fill the other half of my raised bed with the onion plants. That's okay. We're all learning, and that's okay. Go ahead and do it. And you can always either dehydrate your extra onions or freeze them. Like when you're ready to harvest those onions, you can either dehydrate them or freeze them. We dehydrate our Egyptian walking onions a lot. And when our onions start to sprout, 2 or 3 months into winter, and they start to sprout, we chop them up and dehydrate them or freeze them. Sometimes I can them. Sometimes we don't have any left over because I go ahead and can them in salsas and can them. I like to can like what I call my soup base, and it is onions and peppers and tomato juice. And sometimes I'll do tomatoes, onions, and carrots and potatoes to have a soup base.
And you've also done it onions and tomatoes and okra, or onions and tomatoes and zucchini.
Yes, I have.
And both of those have worked really well. Another thing she's done with them that works really well is to chop them up, put them on a cookie sheet in the freezer, let them freeze where they're not stuck together, and then put them in a Ziploc baggie. And then you've got a bag of you just reach in and grab a handful of onions, throw them in your pan or your pot or whatever. And that is so simple to cook with.
Yes, it is. Makes it easy. If you do freeze them and just bag them immediately, then
rabbit manure will work amazing.
Yes.
At their homestead.
It'll be perfect because you can put it on straight on.
Yes, it does.
And it won't be too hot, but it'll be absolutely perfect.
That's a good.
Yes, great.
Good thing to do that with. I would top dress with rabbit manure. I wouldn't worry about putting it beside it. I just cover the whole row or whatever with rabbit manure. Sprinkle it on. Who
prefers raised beds to in-ground gardening? Is that your question, or is it the raised row gardening? Because we do all three. We do
plus others.
Plus container.
Yeah.
We do raised bed gardening. We have gardens that are raised. I guess we have 4. All right, we have a lot.
We've got raised beds.
Raised garden.
Do the raised rows.
Raised rows.
We've got in-ground.
In-ground.
We've got containers.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what else we do. I think so. The preference, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
There's a place and a time, I think, for each of them. If I'm going to plant a whole bunch of corn,
it's going to be in ground.
And okra and stuff like that, it's just going to be in ground. If I'm trying to grow something kind of intensely that's going to take quite a bit of maintenance, I like the raised beds and the raised rows, and they both kind of serve the same purpose. We've got enough room that the raised rows really work for us. Right. But if you're going to do small space, really intensive gardening, raised beds are the way to go.
Yes, they are. And if you struggle, some of us have impairments that, or I hate to say impairments, that's not what I want to say. Some of us have different challenges in gardening, or things that are our comfort zones or abilities. And raised beds work way better for folks that can't bend over.
Mm-hmm.
They work better for people that have trouble with their knees or feet or ankles. And some
they work really good in incredibly poor soils.
They do because you can amend that soil really well.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do it. And if I've got intensive grazing on my brain. If you want to do intensive gardening, like Gary said, your raised beds are the way to go. And limited space. I mean, it's going to be individual. It's really going to be individual.
And I'm trying something with some raised beds this year that I've seen. And I actually, guys, I copied it a little bit off of M.I. Gardner. We're doing kind of a wicking beds this year. We've but we have basically we've put a big layer of hay down, and then we've put our dirt on top of it, hoping that that'll hold moisture down in the ground. And we're going to see how that works. I heard Luke at M.I. Gardner talking about that, and I thought that's a brilliant idea. I've used some similar ideas on a couple of other things, planting potatoes.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a good idea. So when I did our beds, that's how I did them.
And Gathered Together has a 35 by 80 garden and also a 5 raised beds that are 4 by 8.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
Good.
That's
good.
Awesome.
Yeah, and raise your big open type stuff that needs that space. There are some things that just flat don't grow in raised beds as good. And I think corn's one of them. You can grow corn in raised beds.
You can.
But I'm going to tell you there's some corns that grow better in raised beds than other.
Right.
I don't remember off the top of my head which ones they are. But, you know, stuff like that, put that in your big garden. The other things that need a little more care, a little more time, tomato plants, peppers, those grow great in a raised bed.
They do. They do.
And
so do your lettuces and your root vegetables. They all grow great in a raised bed. So the only things that struggle in a raised bed are going to be your okras, your grass plants, basically. Well, okra is not a grass plant, but yeah. Anyway, so okra is going to struggle, and so is corn. And I'm trying to think if there was one more thing that would struggle.
You can do watermelons in a raised bed melons. They will grow in a raised bed. They're a little more work because they take over a bed and go out of a bed.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I like to put them out in a big open space too.
And trellising for us doesn't always work because we get so hot in the summers that they'll actually the vines will scorch on a trellis if it's metal. And the wind will burn them.
Trellising kind of work. One of the big issues also with trellising is when you're growing stuff like melons and cantaloupes, man, if you don't stay on top of tying that stuff up, it'll pull loose when it starts getting big. It'll break off and cause damage. And you have to kind of stay on top of getting some kind of support under those melons. Right. And that's a lot of extra work.
It is. Hello, Heather. Hello. Joe says he recently learned that for large onions, plant the seed, and for green onions, the sets. Yes, correct. That's the correct terminology. Yeah. Yes, it did come across right. So, like, if you want, basically what you're doing, Joe, is some people plant their seeds in the fall outside. And if your weather permits that, if your climate permits that, your grow zone, that's a great way to do it. Like, so for us, September, October is when you put in your garlic bulbs. You can put them in this time of spring between the snowstorms. You can do that. You're not going to get as large of a bulb, but it can be done. The other thing is people can start them inside. But then they've got them to care for over winter. For a lot of us, that's good because gardening's our therapy and what we enjoy doing. And so you can take care of those onion plants and have something to do, and I started our seeds late, and then I messed up and put them out in the greenhouse too early. They got a hard freeze, and I didn't water them. So, and then they got too hot. So all of those 3 combinations.
So, Joe, the sets are the little bulbs.
Yeah, are the bulblets.
And that's for a green onion. That makes a better green onion. The starts or the plants that are already look like a green onion, those are seeds that were planted in the fall. And you plant them now. So if you start your onions from seed, you need to start them in the fall so you can plant the little greens right now. or in the middle of the winter so you can plant the little greens.
Unless
now.
You are in the warmer climates.
Right.
If you're in the warmer climates, then it's going to be the opposite.
Start them in the summer.
They're going to start them. They're going to start them in the summer and grow because of the heat. Because they're going to be cooler. Like my cousins down south in very, very South Texas, they grow their onions in the winter. But yeah, that's just how that goes because of the heat. But that'll also go with your other onions. Hello, Cindy Brown, Heather Hopper, everybody saying hi. Cool. Oh, you won a prize, Cindy. That's awesome. And hello. Last update. Thank you, Dana. That we needed 135.
Oh, cool.
135. Cool. So the 60 was what we were. So it was 3,860 whatever. Cool. 65, I guess. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you, DJ.
Yeah, so guys, we would appreciate it if you watched all our videos. You can.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll figure we're idiots, but keep watching, and it would sure help us out. We would appreciate that.
There's Jan. Hello, Jan.
Hello, Jan. And
there's Chuck.
Sup, Chuck.
And Belinda. Oh, yeah. Jan saying hi to everybody. Thank you, Jan.
Yeah. Thanks for being in here, Jan. We really hope to see you guys this weekend, but I guess that didn't work for you.
That's okay. That's okay.
Hopefully we will get to see you in August.
Yes. Everybody saying hi to Jan. And everybody saying hi to Chuck. Glenn and Jessica. Cool.
Was it Maple Ridge or Gathered Together that was telling us they just moved on to their farm and this was their first winter there?
I think that was Maple.
Was it Maple? Maple Ridge Ranch or whatever?
Yep, I think it was Maple Ridge Ranch. Going back in the feed.
Whichever one of you guys that was.
It was Maple.
Okay.
Mountain Maple Ranch.
Mountain Maple Ranch.
There's Maple Ridge somewhere else, but Mountain
okay.
Maple Ranch. We've got too many of you Maple people. Sorry.
You're lucky I can remember it started with M.
We're tired.
So Mountain Maple Ranch. I'd like to know kind of what your desires are for your homestead. Cindy and I do some consulting, and we're kind of trying to fine tune that process. So we kind of like to know, like, what are your desires? What do you want out of your homestead? And here's some silly questions. Like, if you had to pick one book that you really wanted to be a part of, like that story, would it be Robinson Crusoe? Would it be Farmer Boy by Laura Ingalls? Or would it be Anne of Green Gables? Tell us which one of those, and kind of tell us what your desires are for your homestead. And we kind of want to hear that.
All right. Gathered Together just got a freeze dryer. Woo, woo. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Look forward to using it.
Those look like really neat devices. They are quite an investment.
That is a huge investment. Yes.
But those look like really cool things.
Yes. We've got some folks that vend at the farmer's market with us, and they have one, and they like blow up Skittles and stuff with those things.
Yeah.
And the Skittles are a little bit addicting. I go and greet them and speak to them, but my little eyes have to do this and not see the Skittles because it is
freeze-dried Skittles and freeze-dried marshmallows
and fruit. Oh my mercy, it's like so
I like
good.
the fruit a lot. I used to buy freeze-dried strawberries. I really like those.
Great advice. Thank you, guys. I'm going to build some raised beds soon. Beth is. Cool. Looks like Joplin, Missouri is about halfway to you guys, about 6 hours total. When I come, I have friends in Baxter Springs, Kansas, so I can stop there for a day. Awesome. Feel like I want to do a combination of raised beds and in the dirt garden.
I think that's a wise idea. That's what we do.
Yeah. And we add container gardening in there as well.
We do container gardening. We do the rows, and we do the raised beds. We do in ground and combination of all that. And that is. I think that's wise. Like we were saying, there's some things that grow good in one, not the other.
Yes. Jan says that she loves her raised beds, but they have in-ground gardening as well.
Yeah.
And whoop. Rock Ridge, hello. This is Deanna at the lake on my phone.
Oh,
but
cool.
I made it. Yay!
Yes, awesome.
Welcome, Deanna. Cool.
Awesome. Glad you're in here.
Has the loose faucet watched her daughter Bunky's music video? Huh.
Big cover of Alan Jackson.
Huh.
That's Jan's.
Yeah.
That's Jan's alter ego.
We have to create a flat space in on our property with our excavator. So I feel some gardening raised beds. We can build them a bit more level, at least for lettuce and grape. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. If you have unlevel ground, probably the raised beds are going to be it. Beds
and the raised rows work good in that too. So you can kind of do basically some terraces
to keep from washing. Hello, treasure hunter. How are you doing today, Neil?
All right. Thanks for being in
Everybody's saying hello. Hello, Beth. How are you? Everybody's saying hi. Thank you guys for being so welcoming to each other. I love that. Trellises for watermelon. Saw a video on YouTube where the YouTuber tied the vine up where a sugar baby small melon would grow, and he set it on a ledge. Yeah.
I used to have a friend that actually grew big watermelons on a fence, and he would take stuff and tie those melons up, or sometimes just set a bucket under it. And it was kind of funny because he had one that went really long. He let it sit there, and he was afraid, and he knew he needed to get to it, but he didn't get to it. Wasn't getting to it, and it kind of stretched out.
Looked like a teardrop.
And then he stuck a bucket under it, and so it kind of went down and on the bottom.
It had a bell on the bottom.
Yeah, it had a bell on the bottom. It looked like a butternut squash, but it was a watermelon.
Hello, Roy. How are you, buddy?
Hey.
Yes, plant the bulbs deep so you get nice green onions. Yes, long green onions.
Yeah, and when the white's nice and long on them, I like that.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, and that does that.
I like the hotter onions for the green onions. That's just me.
Yeah, and those little Egyptian walking onions that we grow, and they make great green onion. They are pretty spicy.
I've got to thin my walking onions so that we can get some onion powder.
Those walking onions have made our dehydrator gets pretty hot on the bottom tray, so it's almost like a roasted onion powder. Make great onion powder.
Isn't Baxter Spain the oldest? I don't know, Neil. I don't even know in Oklahoma history, which I should have known because we were taught Oklahoma history. But
Neil, it's been there as long as I've been here.
Well, I would say it would depend on what you define a town. Because the Native Americans had kind of some permanent established trading posts in Kansas that had populations.
A.P. Shoto was trading here before there were white people.
So there's some places around. There was a permanent settlement around what is now Kansas City. There was a semi-permanent place around Council Grove.
Yes.
And there were several others. So it depends on what you call but when you get to like the set up government and all that, the terminology, and have that, I don't know what that, not contract, incorporated.
There were French traders here setting up
What's
trade
happened?
Posts for a long time, and A.P. Shoto was one of those that's probably better recorded.
Okay, 2 things are happening in August. We have the Homesteading Life Conference in early August, and then we have the Ozark Homesteading Expo in late August. And
Jan, I hope you're coming to the Ozark Homesteading Expo. It's at Marshfield again this year.
Yeah.
Where we saw you guys last year.
Yeah.
And
Jan's going to Shoot Dang in April.
Okay, cool.
Beans. Yeah, we are not going to be able to go to that one. Sure not. Did I not know? How do I not know? Woo, Tracy's here. Hey, Tracy, we're talking onions.
Yeah.
Elbow cough. Gosh, I'm afraid.
Is that your new nickname?
Yeah, that's his new nickname, Elbow Cough.
Oh. Elbow Cough Gardener. Hey, we saw somebody that knew you this weekend.
We sure did. Dry and warm up here at 6,500 feet. Not much humidity, some during the summer rains, and beginning in October it cools down a bit. So I'm concluding for over here September, October planting the onion seed. Yes, I would agree. Shelly had some awesome freeze-dried Skittles at the prior meetup. Oh, yes, so good. Yes. They're addicting. They're terribly addicting. Oh, Brenda Duncan made it home. We saw Miss Brenda and had a good visit with her.
I'm glad you made it home safely, Brenda.
We obviously did too. Tim's a bucket list place. Island. Yes, wouldn't that be? I love Anna Green Gables.
Okay, we're getting some answers.
Yay, me too. But I'm a Little House on the Prairie fan too. So
yeah,
I gathered together.
So, and guys, here's my thinking, and tell me if you think my thinking's right. So, Robinson Crusoe is more of a foraging, hunting, survival.
Here's your answer. Kind of.
The goal is to raise my own food.
So I watch you guys to get tips, but I know I have a special place here in the mountains. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So my thought is Robinson Crusoe is more of a foraging, hunting, fishing, and he did some propagation, some gardening, and he had a few livestock, but it was more, in my mind, it's more of a survival or a hunter-gatherer. Farmer boy worked with livestock like nobody's business.
Yes.
And their whole world, his whole world's centered around the livestock. Even when they were farming, it was centering around the livestock. And they were daylight to dark or daylight to after dark working all the time.
Before daylight, because they milked before daylight. Yeah.
And then Anna Green Gables was more about, it seems like more about beauty and beautification, but there was also some farming, definitely, and more maybe crop type farming with some livestock. So of those three, which one you pick kind of might tell me what you lean towards or what you would prefer.
And it's okay to say all three as well.
That's
is. That is an option. A, B, C, or D, all the above. Or E. I don't remember how many choices we had. But hay, straw, or raised beds have lots of hay. We use hay in the middle for the core. This is just our experiment, Beth. We're not sure how it's going to work yet.
Beth, the hay will work where straw will work. Go ahead and use the hay. Yeah. Not only you can use it in the core, but you can use it as mulch. Go ahead and use it. We use a lot of prairie hay and brome hay as mulch. Prefer prairie hay because brome hay tends to have some seed heads, but that's what we prefer.
I would warn against using some hay that's been sprayed with an herbicide.
Yeah.
It depends on the herbicide.
Not a lot of prairie hay gets sprayed here.
Okay.
If it does get sprayed, it's usually spot sprayed. It's just they go spray the plant that's giving them problems.
Jan says that she has socks, but they like to grow them on the socks for if you're growing them vertically. Yeah. But Tracy's the guy for onions. I'm throwing you under the bus, Tracy.
You're kin to the Dalton gang.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we just passed their site for their...
Have you been to Coffeyville?
Been to Coffeyville. Go to Coffeyville where their graves are. We passed that today.
Yes.
Oh, Jan had seeds from her hay. Huh.
Yeah, Jan, I'm guessing yours is fescue hay.
Yeah, that would be fescue hay.
I would use fescue hay. I say that, Jan, because in your neck of the woods, that's what most hay is.
Everyone in Oklahoma, Arkansas, East Texas, South Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, and Louisiana, watch the weather for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Severe thunderstorms possible and naders. Yes, Mr. Charles, they're even telling us that we might have the possibility of some tornadic activity this week.
Okay, yeah. They're going to the expo.
Yay, totally going to the expo. Yes, yes, yes. It's like a family reunion, I promise you. We were having the best time.
217 onion sets.
Last week. Awesome.
Cool. Jan, we will be teaching the chicken processing at the Missouri Homestead Expo for sure. Might be doing some other things. We are working on trying to make that a little more organized than it was last year. It was kind of chaotic.
It got out of hand quick.
It was a blast and it was cool. It was fun, but it was out of control. I mean, I just got a deep seat and sunk in my spurs and rode her for all she's worth, but it was a tough deal.
She was so sweet and kind. Tracy, Jill was so sweet and
she
kind.
talked very highly of you, Tracy.
Yes, she did. She did. She was so excited.
She was impressed with what you do on your farm and with your community. And
she really liked that. Mountain Maple, Kansas Garden Guy, wonderful channel. Thanks for putting out great information.
Oh,
yes,
man, doesn't he?
Doesn't he? We are all in awe of Tracy.
I know a lot of people ask us questions, but Tracy's who we ask questions, or one of the people we ask questions.
Yes, we made it home, Hank.
Thanks for noticing. Yeah, and Hank, I'm assuming you haven't left yet, or you're not home yet.
Yep, he's been to Coffeeville to check it out. Good job. We are making homemade butter right now. Woo! Cool. Once you make homemade butter, oh wow, it is way better.
Leavenworth is the
oldest incorporated city. Cool. Okay.
Okay. That makes sense because it was Fort Leavenworth.
It was a fort, yeah.
So that makes sense.
In Kansas, yes. We're kind of on the fence. They're telling us to be prepared. They're not all out including us in it, but they're telling us to be prepared. That's what they're telling us, Mr. Charles, to be prepared to be included in that. We make a boy smile. Blush.
Okay.
Blush. That's a blush. I can see that now. All straps are on.
All right.
So you're getting ready to head on the road.
Yeah. Hank, drive safe.
We do not know yet, Miss Jan. Probably, well, yes, we do know. The chicken plucking will be the last thing on Saturday. The chicken processing, I should say, will be the last thing on Friday.
On Saturday.
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. On Saturday. Friday, we don't know if we'll be presenting anything on Friday or not. Hello, Spring Meadow Farm and Garden.
Hey, we got 18 folks in here.
Missouri Homestead Meat. Is that something that Doug and Stacy? Doug and Stacy do the Homesteading Life Conference, and that we'll be going to that as well. We bought that last year for a combination anniversary present. So it's last year's anniversary present and this year's combined.
Yes, so, but the Missouri Homesteading Expo.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, it's not Missouri. Ozark Homesteading Expo that's in Missouri is put together by Cheryl Franklin that leads the Ozark Homesteading Group. And it is going to be a little further south than Doug and Stacy's. It's down at Marshfield.
Tracy messed up 3 sourdough starters so far and had to start over. How did you mess them up? I gotta know. I'm curious. Went back to Keystone early AM. Okay, good. Nice area out there by Keystone. Yeah. Our old stomping grounds. I grew up about 13, 14 miles from Lake Keystone.
Yeah. We were never terribly far from it.
Neil's been through Leavenworth.
Cool.
Yay.
All right, cool.
Everybody's saying hi. Good, good, good.
Jan, we're going to try real hard this year to make sure we
Good.
talk about more inexpensive options. We always do the plucker.
Yeah.
And we're going to make sure we try to show the ways to do it without it. If you don't want to buy, if you're just doing 2 chickens at a time, there's no sense in having a plucker. And so we're going to talk about other ways of doing that.
Yeah. Other options for processing besides just plucking with a plucker.
Okay.
Yay. Yay.
Okay, look at what she says about
Joyce right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next year, Joyce and I will do the 2nd annual
Homestead meetup at their new place.
Yeah, the Ozark Homestead meetup.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. And that'll be next year.
Yeah. Cool. We'll be there or be square. Oh, you're not taking out. Yeah. So it doesn't quite have to be half.
Just some.
Just some. So that's where we make things. What's called, when you take some out of it, it's called discard. That's where we make our crackers. Even if it's not quite yeasty smelling yet, go ahead and use that or put it in your compost pile or something like that. But yeah, pull out.
Or you can feed it to your pig.
Tracy don't have a pig.
Well, he needs a pig.
I knew you were going to say that once. Simply Jana. Miss Brenda is still here.
What was that again?
I'm going to need to keep Gary qualified.
Good luck.
Good luck. Cool. You've done fishing and hunting all over Keystone. That's awesome.
Me too. Me too. Grew up. Oh, I got to tell y'all a hunting story.
Oh, no.
Woo. When I was a kid, we were running dogs on Keystone out of a boat, hunting. And the dogs were running. We were out in the boat. And it was cold winter time, coon hunting. And the dogs started, like, all the dogs quit except for Dad's black and tan. And she was just a hammering it. And we got up close, and the old man that Dad hunted with, Ray, he shined his light on there, and she was swimming out through a cove, just barking the whole time. And about 20 feet out in front of her was the coon swimming, and she was swimming right behind him, trailing him in the water. And all Ray's blue ticks had stopped at the edge of the water. So we swung back up there, and he pulled all them great big old, he had big old blue ticks, big old floppy jaws and big ears, pulled them all in the boat. And then we got out there to see where that coon was coming out of the water, and he was getting out in the deeper water. So when Ray got close to him, he got his dip net out from underneath the boat.
Oh, no.
And Dad said, "Ray, don't you do it." But sure enough, he scooped up that coon and threw him right in the middle of the boat with them big old blue ticks. And me and my little brother were kids, and we were about ready to bail in the water to get away from that fight.
Tracy says he's been throwing it out and then adding. You can do that too, but it works good in your compost. And it works good to use it as well. Even if it's not quite that yeasty stuff yet, it'll still work. Pancakes, breads, crackers, pizza crust. Holy cow, Tracy, it makes the best pizza crust.
Yeah, once you get your starter going good, you've got to make pizza crust. We did a video on that. It is so good. Learned that from Joyce Morris over at Morris Patch of Heaven. Kevin
says, I need to hop in here and say hi. I'm listening to you guys. Jan says, has you on the computer. Well,
awesome.
Hello, Kevin.
Good to hear from you, Kevin.
Spring Meadow Farm and Garden. Everybody needs a pig. Yes.
I agree.
We are pig people. We're getting 30 jumbo Cornish cross at the end of March. 15 hens, 15 roosters. We're keeping 2 of each to try to breed them.
I don't know. I have seen some of those be kept and laid. I've never seen anybody actually try to breed out of that. Supposedly, they don't throw true to kind, Jan. And because they're a hybrid, they don't throw true to kind. Cindy and I were reading about black and red black and red broilers.
Yes.
That's what they're called, black and red broilers. And supposedly they will throw, they still grow pretty much like a Cornish, maybe a week slower.
Yeah, they're a little slower. They're
just a little slower, but they still do like that. And they throw true to kind. So we may actually be trying some of them this year.
We've been very much considering them. So, yeah, and I don't know. I guess it would depend on what your Cornish is crossed with.
Yeah, but that's the broilers that we use. Those are Cornish crosses.
Right.
And I'd be interested to see how that works, Jan. I would be interested. I've always heard they wouldn't throw tribute to kind. I've just kind of taken that at face value, but I'd really like to see how it works for you, what happens.
Okay, everybody get in your airplanes, your trains, your cars, your helicopters. That gathered together Homestead is grilling steaks. We're all on our way. Your whole family's gathering in your backyard or in your living room.
Yeah.
Yes, if you can swing it. Yeah.
And there are actually some places where you can like rent those. Some places in areas you can rent those.
What are the dates again? Oh, let me look real quick. Hang on.
I don't know.
I can look. I can look at the calendar.
I don't remember. Tiny Tim, she's going to get you some dates. But let me say that on Facebook, Ozark Homesteading. Is it Ozark Homesteading Expo or just Ozark Homesteading?
Both. To get on the Ozark Homesteading, he has to be in the Ozarks. So Ozark Homesteading Expo is what he wants online. There's an online site. There's
an online site, Ozark Homesteading Expo, and Cheryl keeps the dates and times and things going on up on that.
It's gonna be the 26th and 27th of August.
The 26th and 27th of August, Tiny Tim. The 26th and the 27th of August.
At Marshfield, Missouri.
In Marshfield, Missouri. He had that already.
Yeah.
So it's just 3.5 hours from me.
Woo, cool. We would love to see you. If you don't get to make it up here. Yeah.
They're all going together.
Yes, we're all going over for steak. I got hundreds of stories about the Keystone area. I've had a friend that lived in Cleveland. He had a head-on accident on top of Keystone Dam and died. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Never mind.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of accidents in that part of the world. I've known some people that had very similar accidents in the same place.
Yes. Yeah, that is people drive crazy on the dam sometimes. Or sometimes it gets icy or the wind.
Right. That's kind of a tough
Sometimes it's not an avoidable collision.
Yeah, I've got lots of stories too, Neil, about that neck of the woods. That's where Cindy and I, like we said when we met, that was just like 14, 15 miles from Keystone.
I'd have bailed out of the boat.
It was quite wild. I think my little brother's going to. Dad had to grab a hold of him and keep him from jumping in.
Tiny Tim says, I don't swim, so I'd be punching somebody. Lots of dogs.
I just got behind Dad.
Do you see that? Do you see that? 20.
Oh, yes.
21.
Awesome. East side of the lake.
East side of the lake. Cool. We most of my growing up, it was the actual Keystone area, the Prue area, the Walnut Creek area, and the Manford area.
That's where you went.
Because I grew up
west of the lake.
I grew up west of the lake, and I was just south of the Cimarron River, a mile, 2 miles, 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles probably, or 3, somewhere along in there.
Depending on how hot the river was.
Yeah, depending on.
But guys, the Cimarron, like if you went straight, whichever direction that was, north from where we were, sometimes the Cimarron would come up to her cousin's gate when it flooded.
Yes.
But when it was in its banks, it was a mile away from his gate. It would come a mile up through there.
Sometimes my daddy has an oil well lease that's down close to the river, and it was his uncle's property and farm and ranch. What would be a ranch now? They did farm in the lowland, and they did cattle ranching up on the high ground. And sometimes Daddy couldn't check his oil wells because the water would be high.
Jan, try it. See if it works. I mean, just try, keep a couple of hens and a rooster and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to see what happens. Cool. Yeah, you told us you were staying there. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's nice to stay with family. We stayed with family on
Friday night.
Yeah, up above Grand Lake,
and then
on the Elk River.
Stayed with family on Saturday night too.
Yeah. We ended up staying in a motel room.
Yep. Good evening, Lori Carp. When we have Cornish hens, they lay poorly and had no shell. It's a weird chicken breed. We loved ours when we ate them. Delicious. However, we are going to Jersey Giants for the combo. Yes.
Yeah, we had some friends that did that, and they somewhat pleased with that. They're not like, they don't grow out for meat birds like a Cornish, but they will work. They will sure do that. They will produce enough meat. It just takes a little longer. I have seen people produce eggs out of Cornish crosses. They're not going to lay a whole lot of eggs because that's not what they're bred to do. But
well, Jan Murray McMurray, you can ask them. Send them an email and ask them, or get on. Are they? If they have a way to contact them online, whether you email them or if they have like a chat box that you can pop up, ask them. They'll tell you whether or not they can reproduce after their own kind.
I've always been told they wouldn't, but I have seen them lay eggs.
Brenda loves her chicken plucker.
Yes.
That all depends on your hay, Beth. Yeah. Tiny Tim, you can stay here with us, Jan says. Yeah, Jan's is about a halfway spot for you probably. Or you can stay with her during the expo, whichever one she's talking about. Yeah, plucker is a very good investment.
Yes.
Yeah. Going to check out, spend some time with family. Thanks for coming in, Hank.
Yeah, good to see you, Hank. Thanks for being in here.
Never had a problem with straw. We do struggle with seed in our straw, but
guys,
but wheat's easy to pull.
Yeah, wheat's not. Straw works. Just sometimes you can't get a hold of it.
Right.
If you use hay, prairie hay works.
Right.
Don't use Bermuda hay. Don't use crabgrass hay. Don't use fescue hay. Don't use brome hay. Prairie hay works.
Ah, Neil knows the Prue area very well.
Yeah. Mostly clover. That's liable to have quite a bit of seed in it.
Yes, it might. If it's, yeah.
Hey. Liable to have a lot of
if it's seed. Mostly clover, it may have seed. Yes, Woody's Corner. Yes, Woody's Corner.
Yep.
Turn off to go to Prue. Yep, Woody's Corner. We had Robertson's Belly Acres used to live at Woody's Corner.
Yes.
In that area, in the housing that was about a half mile away. Yep, and so that is north and a little bit east of the Keystone Dam. Yep, there we go, Tim. Awesome. Cool. Community. I'm loving it. You'll call them and find out. That's awesome, Jan. Yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to make that investment in them for that reason, let's do the homework if we can. If we did, I mean, let's do it when we. Yeah. I don't want that.
You're gonna buy some to butcher anyways, Jan.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Find out. I mean, and so you kind of know what you're dealing with.
And hopefully we're wrong. I mean, that's just, yeah.
And I can tell you this, Jan. So hybrid. Most of the time depends on the way the hybrid chromosomes work. But if they end up with an odd number chromosome, a lot of hybrids do, then they won't reproduce. There are some that will. But a mule is an odd number chromosome, right?
Yeah.
And they don't reproduce as a rule. But there have been some that did.
Yes.
There have been some mules documented well through history that have had colts.
Yep.
And
usually,
so,
yeah.
You know, try it. See what happens.
Yep. Better late than never. Hello, Miss Lynette. All right. Thanks, Mountain Maple.
Yeah. Thanks for being in here.
Did you get your 4 o'clocks planted? Oh, yay. I love 4 o'clocks. But this is Mac. I'm awake now.
Mac, guys, we had a really good time at the Okie Homestead Expo.
We did. We had a great time.
We saw a lot of channels.
Yes,
Southern Blessed was one of them. Natural Grandma, which was in here a minute ago, was another one.
Brenda Duncan.
1900. Yep. It was good to see y'all. We picked up some merch.
We did.
We did. Ridge Life was there.
Yes.
And we had to say the goofy little saying.
Go Ridge Life.
Okay.
There we go.
Don't say that on our channel.
We're teasing you, Tim, if you're watching the replay.
Yeah, and we
had a tragedy.
We were going down the road and window open on the pickup, and a sticker blew out. A Ridge Life sticker must have blown out. And I was wondering if anybody that was at Pryor might have seen that sticker, found it somewhere.
I think a gnome got it.
You think it was a gnome? I think I saw that homesteading gnome.
Did you see that homesteading gnome?
Yeah, it's short, dark-headed, female.
Native American, possibly?
Maybe, yeah. Well, we were in Oklahoma, you know.
Yes.
So.
I don't know. May have to go back and watch the cameras. Oh, hadn't moved them outside yet. Still snowing. The 4 o'clocks are sprouted. They're not quite home yet, Miss Brenda. Everybody saying hi. I love homework. If I can breed it, then that would be cool. I bought them for meat and now loss, right?
So no, yeah, it says
no loss. Yeah. No loss. I'm sorry. No loss.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always worth an experiment.
It is.
We were going to experiment with the red and black broilers this year.
Yeah.
See what, or we're going to try to. Do you remember what hatchery that was? It was specific hatchery.
It was a specific hatchery, and I'll have to look and see if I can find it.
Duncan 1900 says she just got home a little while ago.
Awesome. Glad you had a safe trip, Miss Brenda.
Had an awesome
I had an awesome time. We had a great time too.
Yeah, it was great to see y'all, Mac. We love spending time with you guys.
Yes, sir. We were actually headed to Prue, which was the next area it hit. And thankfully, my mother turned around and we stopped. We had to stop and drop off. My dad had a dear friend at Cleveland. And we were going the opposite way. We typically went through Manford, went across the dam, turned at Woody's Corner, and went to Prue that way. But my dad's buddy lived up by, he was a water well driller as well, and Mr. Spencer, and he lived south of Cleveland. So we went up Highway 48, turned before Manford, went up Highway 48, and went up into rural Turleton, and took Mr. Spencer the part he needed, or I believe he needed to borrow a bit. So we dropped that off, and he told Mama to turn around or to stay. And so we went ahead and went back home. And so we barely missed the tornado at Manford going. And then in that meantime, we missed him telling Mama to turn around and go back. We missed it hitting Prue, which we would have been at Prue at my mom's sister's house, but her house didn't get hit, but we very well could have been in between whenever it hit the Prue and Osage Beach area. So it was a devastating tornado, devastating. So I grew up west of Manford. I grew up at Silver City. That's where I grew up. You're so late. But they've been in here. Patty's been listening and driving, and Mac was sleeping. He was napping. Yeah. Got to tuck the animals in for the night. Thanks, Spring Meadow. Have a good evening. Everybody, hey, Elijah, how are you, buddy?
Hey.
You shopped on your way home. Good job, Miss Brenda.
Right.
20 years ago, our town got wiped out by a tornado. It took the barn down on our property, but they built
Bad to the bone shop.
The bad to the bone shop we have now. Cool shop. Okay. And then highlight. We're caught up. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we're caught up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We got 21 people in
That's
here.
awesome.
That's awesome, guys. Thanks for being in here.
Yeah.
And thanks for the 22.
Yeah.
Thanks
there we
for
go.
helping us with our watch hours. Thanks for listening to us.
Yes.
I don't know if we always have much worth saying, but
we had a really good time. We got to see Bennett and talk to Ben and Andrea.
Yep.
From BW Family Farms.
Yeah.
We talked to Misty from the Max. We talked to her for a minute.
Yeah.
Cassie from Walker Farm and Gary from Walker Family Farm fam.
Yeah, we did.
And
we met some channels that we'd never even heard of before.
Yes.
That are actually pretty good sized channels.
Yep. Maybe later. Okay, they're talking. Want dual purpose breeds.
Yeah.
Orpingtons and Rhode Island Reds. Yeah.
Yeah, Barred Rocks are pretty good dual purpose too.
Mm-hmm.
We've done the Barred Rocks a lot. We like them. Buff Orpingtons are amazing.
Yes. They're one of my favorite chickens. I don't know why.
You know, all chickens are good. It can be used dual purpose. But those type of chickens, like we're talking about, the heritage type chickens, you need to butcher them young still.
Mm-hmm.
You still want to butcher them at 10 weeks old or so, but they're going to be a lot smaller bird than a Cornish cross. But they're very good eating. If you butcher them like that, they are still amazing to eat. You just may have to do more than one sometimes if you've got a good sized family.
Lynette says not yet, that we weren't caught up yet in the chat. Maybe later. I'm wanting to purpose. Yeah, there we go. Can't be caught up in the yet. Yeah. We saw you in someone's video. Robertson's Belly Acres are empty. Yes.
Yeah, we were.
We're probably in both of those. Yep.
Yes.
I love those chickens. I love my buffs. Yeah, I don't know. I think Buff Orpingtons are gorgeous, gorgeous birds.
Well, we got a rooster we might give somebody right
now
if they come got it.
If you need a nice frisky rooster that'd be a really good guard rooster and you don't have any small children.
That little mean sucker's going to die if he don't quit.
I'm afraid that he's going to be in the pot soon because, yeah. But he's really funny. You can do the hand stop to him. If you put your hand out, he stops. He's kind of funny. They're a good dual purpose chicken. They sure are. Hello, Brother Donnie. How are you?
All right. Thanks for being in here.
We did not meet him. No, we did not. I don't know that we've.
I don't know who he is when I see him.
Yeah, I saw him, but I didn't meet him. And I don't know.
To tell you the truth, I've never watched any of his videos.
I don't know if he was in or out or not. There was some things going on that he may or may not have been in.
I did hear that he had some family things going on.
Yeah, some family things going on. Yeah. E3, yes, they were so sweet. We loved them. They were so sweet.
Yes.
And that's the fun thing when you go to the expos and the meetups and things like that, is you get to add to your family, and we love that. Yes, typically Buff Orpingtons, the hens are sweet and docile. The roosters are notorious for being mean. I don't know why. They're very protective of their girls, and he is in there with a Rhode Island Red rooster, which Rhode Island Reds are notoriously aggressive as well. That Rhode Island Red rooster is very docile, but that Buff Orpington that's in there, he is not. Doing well. Good. Miss Jennifer and the girl and your kiddos doing good?
Yeah, me too. Treasure hunter.
Yeah.
My little brother used to live just south of where they live.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of dove hunting down there on wheat fields when he lived there. Yeah,
they have moved. And they've moved. We've helped them move a little. We've helped them move a little bit.
Yeah, one more.
But they have the cutest little cottage right now. Oh, I love that thing.
Yep.
Everybody's saying hi. Chris and his wife are awesome. They were so sweet. Got the peas planted. Looking at the peas, awesome. We planted our peas today, at least the snow peas. I'm going to try shell peas again this year. We don't eat a lot of shell peas, except for like cow peas. we usually grow a red.
We're shellfish.
I think it's because we're shellfish. But we usually grow a red cowpea or a pink cowpea, depending on who you talk to. That's what we typically grow, and we love that pea. But yeah. Jan isn't his wife's name, Sarah. Oh, which one?
Chris, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Is that E3?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm terrible with names.
We kind of interrupted him in the middle of, or he kind of walked up on us doing a live, and like we were kind of looking at some stuff, and he kind of got in between us, and so then he just kind of included us with it, which was really cool.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure we really got
to.
I don't know if we picked up the name. We did pick up his name because I videoed it.
Yes.
But I don't remember it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we haven't edited the video yet, but okay. Charles says Arms are a good Christian-based channel. Beautiful family. Awesome. 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 Prep for Eternity Homestead. Awesome. I put my sugar snap peas in the ground the other day. Yep, I got mine in. I tried to get them in before the rain. And y'all, we're going to have to show you. So we finally got the little garden. I just got to tell y'all. We finally got the little garden to where it is a no-till garden at this point right now.
We got
for this time. We're going to have to shoot y'all a video. That ground looks amazing. But Gary dumped loads and loads and loads of manure in 20
several layers of
hay and straw.
Yeah.
And so, and
we covered it we tilled it up at the end in the summer.
Yes.
Like late in the summer. And you guys may have saw, and we kind of tried to do a little fall garden there because of the garden trouble we had this summer.
Yeah.
And so when we did that, we completely coated it with straw, like feet thick.
Yeah.
And I pulled back some of that straw today, and that ground, I mean, it is just soft.
It was awesome.
And
beautiful black.
And worms moving everywhere in it.
Yeah. Yes, Sarah. Sarah is the name. Yes. Yeah, I knew he was a retired hypo, and it's a good channel. Cool.
Retired hippo?
Yeah. We called it hypo.
Yeah, highway patrol. I'm just teasing.
He's big. He's a tall man, but I'm short, but he's tall. He walked past me, and I was like, holy crap, that dude's tall. But yeah. And he had his little boy, Houston. He had Houston with him. Yeah. Cool. Well, we may have to check out some videos. I watched a video and I wasn't really, I don't know. It didn't grab me. I'll just say that. They didn't grab my attention, and didn't relate well on that one video. So maybe I need to watch some more.
All right. Well, I hope things go well.
All right. Yes.
With the sermon.
Yeah.
Donnie, that's good.
Can someone pop out and check on Doug and Shelly at His Way Homestead and see if they're going to go live tonight? Because we're running a little late. They typically come on right after us at 6:30, and I don't want to run over onto their live, but sometimes they're not able to do their live. So if somebody would go over their channel and see if they have a live scheduled, or in their community page have a sorry, we're not having a live tonight. Tracy's saying hi to Lori. We're waiting for the folks to put their cattle on our pasture soon. Should be on in the next couple of weeks. We may barter for a milk cow. Woohoo. Oh, wow, Jan. That's awesome. I'm excited. I love my milk cow.
Yeah, and Jan, that changes your self-reliant game. It changes your producing your own food game. It just does.
Thank you, Lori. So Doug's going to be coming on at 6:30, so I'm going to keep a close tabs on my time so that I don't go over, because if I know a lot of y'all need to go over. A couple of you are mods, and a lot of you, I don't want to hog the time, but we had an amazing time. Morris Patch of Heaven was there, and Joyce and Jean. They have an amazing announcement. If you haven't seen, go over to their channel and watch their video later. Oh, Mr. Charles is a hypo papa. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool, cool.
No, he says, I call hypo popo.
Popo. I can't read. Sorry, Mr. Charles. Popo. We call everybody the Popo. Usually that's town police, though. Popo.
It's anybody.
It is a sheriff. It is Highway Patrol.
Game and fish.
Game and fish. Yeah. Game and fish. The Popo's here.
Throw your pole and run. Oh.
No, we are all legal and on the way. Yeah.
Years ago, I was fishing on a tributary that's not far from Keystone Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And Gary Smelter. I guess I shouldn't mention his name, but the game and fish guy.
Yeah.
Pretty decent guy, always seemed like. Came down there. There was lots of people fishing in that tributary, and he was checking licenses. And some guys there didn't have their licenses, so they got to buy some very expensive ones that day.
Yes.
But instead of giving them a ticket, he sold them a license.
Mm-hmm.
They paid a little more for it.
Yes.
But they bought a license.
Yeah. So typically in that, you do pay a fine.
Yeah.
And you get a license. But that was years ago. And hopefully some of that is still available for folks.
Well, I think that was just Gary's way of doing things, too.
We can't wait to give Jean and Joyce their pigs back. They're ready to. Icelandic chickens.
Yes, I've read about those for a few years now. Well, actually, for several years before I was ever watching anything on YouTube, I was reading about them in a magazine.
Which he's wanting to know which tributary, Salt Creek or the Cottonwood
Lagoon,
which feeds into the Cimarron. So it is west of Manford, north of Oilton is Lagoon Creek. North of Highway, it runs parallel with Highway 51.
But in high school, I had a hard time getting to high school because I wanted to go to Cottonwood all the time.
Yes.
And I built the
bridge over Salt Creek.
Treasure Hunter, the Highway 51 bridge.
When they made it 2-lane bridge.
When they made it 2-lane, I was on that crew and I poured that concrete. I built that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Or I helped build that.
Yes,
bridge.
helped build that bridge. And the new bridge. And then they redid the old bridge, and they couldn't convince the architects that you couldn't reuse the beams because they'd sag, and they didn't believe them. So they sagged, and then they went in and ground the top and tried to pour more concrete, so that made them heavier. And guess what they did? Sagged some more. But yeah, never heard of them. Max never heard of them. They are nice.
The Icelandic chickens.
Yeah.
They're kind of a small gamey bird. They're not like a true color or even feathering, but they're true to life characteristics, and they are very good at just kick them loose and let them do their thing and gather up the chicks or the eggs. I mean, they're that kind of bird.
They are very hardy. Yes.
Yep.
They don't have their bubblegum machine on top of their cars anymore. No, but they have really pretty Christmas lights.
Yeah, and the grill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, ouch. Yeah. That's home. Oh, hatching eggs are like $8 each. That is crazy. Crazy. Well, we're counting down, guys.
For Icelandics? Wow.
Ooh.
I haven't ever been around people that really have them. I just read about them.
Yeah. Well.
But I'm going to tell you, if I want to just kick loose and let them do their thing, chickens, I like Americanas. Americanas, they just do their thing. You better just stay out of their way. And they're going to find something to eat. And they're going to find a good place to set eggs, lay eggs. And if you didn't provide a place they like, they'll find another place.
You mean west of Manford at Highway 48 and 51 junction? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the stoplight? Because I can remember when the stoplight in Manford, that was the only stoplight. Now they have more than one. Was a blinky light. Way back in the 80s, it was a blinky light and wasn't it that went to north.
Oh yeah.
But I bet I'm gonna guess you're talking about 48 and 51, Neil, west of Manford. And you could go north on 48 and eventually cross the Cimarron River Bridge like you were headed towards Cleveland. Middle of the city. Okay. Okay, so that would be it's a stoplight. And you would go to North Manford, Old Manford Ramp, and all of that. Old Manford Ramp.
Yeah, yeah.
You used to, and deer hunt down the railroad tracks. Yeah. Because I was trying to figure out if he was going, what is that called? Oak Hill area, you know, where on North 48, you cross the Cimarron, you cross the railroad tracks first, and then you cross the river, or do you cross the river and then cross the railroad tracks, and then is the cemetery if you're headed north towards Cleveland, and then where Mark and Misty used to go to church, and they had the little pastor hall. Yeah. That's like Oak Hill. Oak Hill. Didn't see
cross railroad tracks long before you get there.
Okay.
Those railroad tracks that kind of go north out of Manford.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to cross them
after the river, right? Or is it
before?
Before the river. Okay. Before the river. Yeah, before the river. Okay. Don't see Doug's notice. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to. Cool. Yay, Southern Blessed. Jan used her tiller.
Oh, she ended up with the electric tiller, didn't she?
Yay, she did. Yes. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yes, that Southern Blessed donated.
Yes.
To them.
At the railroad track is a creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Look them up. Very neat chicken, but I would have to sell eggs to afford them. Yeah. Wow, Lori, your mom is 90. That's awesome.
Wow.
Happy birthday to your mama.
That is
amazing. Awesome.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of experience.
That is.
You know what people that are 90 have seen?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
They've seen some amazing changes, y'all. Yeah. I know that most of us have seen some way changes in the last 50 years, but imagine what they've seen in today. Beth's telling on you, Neil. Happy birthday, Neil. We got to sing happy birthday to Neil. Everybody ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Neil and Lori's mama. Happy birthday to you. Oh, hello, Leanne. How is Leanne today? You came in just the right time, Leanne. We're going to have to sign off in about 3 minutes.
We're so glad everybody's in.
Yes. I tried stealing it from Southern Blessed, and they ended up giving it to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mac, I think I'm going to tell a story real quick before you get to tell it on your live. So, I was out in the parking lot at the expo.
Was there a little old man
he ain't little.
Got lost?
There was an old man wandering around lost. He had lost his wife and lost his car. And he was a sad little thing. Well, he wasn't little. Sad old thing out there wandering around, pulling on his beard, scratching his head. And I said, "You lost, old man?" And he turns around and goes, "I can't find my car." Something like that. Can't remember. And so he got his clicker out and he started clicking. Well, this truck that was by us started going off. And he says, "Oh, I set somebody's truck off." And I was like, And then I started laughing because it was my truck. I had my clicker clicking the horn on my truck. And he thought he'd set somebody else's off. It was the best. It was the absolute best. I loved it.
Some people are just fun to get.
Yeah.
Max one of
them. I should have told it that it was the gnome.
It was the homesteading gnome.
Homesteading gnome was involved in that. You got to watch out for that homesteading gnome.
Never enough time. It's good to see you in here.
Hello, Miss Francine.
I happened to see you on a live yesterday.
Yes, you did, Miss Francine. Hello.
Yep. Called me out on a live yesterday that I was on.
Hello, everyone. Everybody saying hello. Happy birthday to Lori's mom. Neil says thank you, everybody. We sung off key, but we still sang, Neil. It's the love that counts. Okay. Everybody saying hi. Yes, they are a very interesting chicken. Woo, we're behind on the chat. Y'all are chatty. I love it. I love it. I love it.
They were chatting while you were singing.
Yes, they were. They were singing happy birthday and telling happy birthday. No, that's okay. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. Building a shed to store. Cool. We're working on it. We've been making on a store.
Shed to store their 3 tillers.
It was Mac. Maybe it was Mac.
A shed to store their 3 tillers is what Leanne said. A shed to store our 3 tillers. Not a
shed to store their to store their tillers in. Sorry. My brain. To store Mennonite farmhouse. Birthday wishes. Laughing at me. Yeah. And then he went and was resting.
That wasn't funny.
Then I went in and told everybody. So then he was really bummed that he didn't get to tell everybody the joke because I spoiled it and told the joke. That was funny. I loved it. I'm not good at coming up with those things. Usually Gary has to set me up. You know, he has to kind of coach me in it because I just don't think about it.
Oh, I think of a lot of them that I don't do.
I don't have an ornery streak in my body like some of these people just naturally do.
What?
I don't. Things like that.
You're ornery, you're just not as creative as I am.
But
you enjoyed the snot out of pulling that off on me. Don't tell me you didn't.
I did, but I just don't come up with them that quick. I'm not a quick thinker on things like that.
Not as creative.
I'm not as quick of it. Okay, guys.
I'm a quick stinker.
We're gonna have to cover. We're gonna cover the camera.
Ow.
Okay. Oh. All right. It's over. My lavender died. Oh my goodness. Country western music backwards.
Found his car.
Truck back. Oh goodness.
Did his dog come home?
Did his dog? Oh me. That's just wrong. LOL.
What did Mac say about it?
He even thought it was funny. What happens at the meetup stays at the meetup. Not if it's me. That's funny. I was just tickled to death I could pull something on somebody, especially Mac. Mac says that it was wrong with
21
people in the chat. Isn't that awesome? We're 22, but we're going to have to go because now Doug and Shelly are live. Happy birthday, Lori Carp. Oh, cool.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I don't think I know how. So that's
not the runners. Yeah. Not the runners.
And the only way I know to sex ducks is
wait till the tail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait till they get their little flippy curl on the back of their tail, top of their tail. No, that would be awful for those of us who can't attend the event and live vicariously through those that can. Ha ha ha. That's awesome. How do you get a tissue to dance?
You put a little boogie in.
Yeah, you put a little boogie in it.
I used to tell the kids that my hanky that I carried. Gary was what?
Ornery.
Ornery. Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
It was perfect. He's proud of me. Oh, yes. I love it. I'm so glad. I have reached the peak.
I guess I'm so creative. I accidentally get people. Kevin.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, sometimes he thinks it's okay to joke and it's not. And people get offended.
And I don't mean to.
And he doesn't mean to.
Feelings.
She's a quick clicker.
Quick clicker.
Quick clicker. Well, the best part is my keys were small enough.
Bye, Elijah.
He didn't realize. Bye, Elijah. He didn't realize I was clicking at the same time he was. Good night, Heather. See you later. Good night, everybody. Good night, good night, good night. God bless everyone. Good night, good night, good night, good night. How to sex your chicken looks for the chicken nuggets. Oh, my mercy.
Not offensive. Good. I'm
good,
glad you.
Good.
Because I don't mean to be offensive to anybody.
No.
I really work at trying to not be offensive.
Right.
Sometimes things just.
They don't work out.
Yeah.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
So, while they're all going.
Wow, 25 people in the chat.
Yes. I'm going to tell a joke.
Uh-oh.
Are we ready? No. Actually, not a joke. I just went into a art gallery the other day.
Uh-huh.
Went into an art gallery, and there was just what looked like a blank canvas that's hanging on the wall. And I asked the guy running the art gallery, I said, what is that blank canvas hanging for there? He said, oh, no, that's a painting of a cow eating grass. And I said, well, where's the grass? He said, the cow ate it all. I said, where's the cow? He said, it ain't going to stick around without any grass.
All right, y'all. We got 18 folks in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Doug and Shelly should be live.
Yeah.
And so we're going to jump off so that we don't pull folks away from them. So go over to His Way Homestead and gather up with them and keep the comedy coming. So we're going to say thank you guys for watching tonight. Remember, God made you special.
And he loves you very much.
Good night, y'all. Love you bunches. Thank you so much.
Bye.